The last few weeks before year-end are often bittersweet. Our days are filled with much to do before the holiday season lands, but you can count on us to always be here. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this week's An Nur the Light. Sanabel Ibrahim is a journalist, writer, and all-round busy woman. We, of course, wanted to know more. Eco-art practitioner Sanabel Ibrahim uses her love for the arts to make a difference in her hometown and in any way she can.
In high school, there was an Arbor Week poetry and art competition, and I won first prize in both of those. The poem was called Nature's Song. So I've always been in tune with nature and the environment and promoting eco-awareness and harmony where humans and the environment are at one with each other.
Art has always been a part of Sanabel's life. Sketching, painting, and creative writing, she now uses her art to highlight important eco-messages. Another such initiative is the Board Games Championship that she hopes will become a world championship in the future.
Presently, because of the youth, especially being bombarded by modern technology and advancements, we find there is that element that needs to be foregrounded, which is face-to-face human interaction. And part of the Board Game Champions project is using board games as a tool for promoting social interaction.
The Green Heart City movement, of which Sana is co-founder, is a city identity project to place Durban at the forefront of the green movement in South Africa. Her contribution has been one of pure active citizenship.
It's a citizen-based project. We focus on arts and ecological activities and activations around Durban. And one of the projects is the bunny cat cultural icon of Green Heart City, Durban. The bunny cat is designed by crafters in the Valley of 1,000 Hills, and it promotes a local skills craft of the Gogos who are looking after AIDS orphans. And the products they make for the Green Heart project are the bunny cats and the beaded green hearts, such as this one, which the Green Heart project has designed and commissioned the Woza Moya crafters to make. And the bunny cat is a cultural emblem for Durban in much the same way as the leprechaun is for Dublin and Ireland and promotes tourism in the city.
From this movement was also born the Book and Design Fair Durban, co-founded by Sanabel, which aims not only to promote literacy, but design in all its forms.
Linked to the Book and Design Fair is a substantial writing competition following the BRICS countries. For example, in 2015, the theme of the writing competition was Forestry Tales with Africa and India, and then in the BRICS countries promoting natural and cultural heritage of those countries.
I think she, having the overall mission of getting people engaged with literacy and Green Heart and all of that, she kind of finds the common ground for all of them and so she finds that common element in it and obviously using that to move forward with the city. Somehow the culture of reading is getting lost a little bit, and it is something that needs to get people reminded about, like what enjoyment we get out of it and how fun it can be and how much we can learn. I know something I always learned as a child when reading is you don't have to travel the world, but you can with the reading.
Sana's love for people and uplifting her community has also led her to research the potential for combining deaf and hearing cultures through eco-arts.
Green Heart partnered with the Alliance Française Durban, where the deaf pavement poets performed nature-themed poetry using sign language and encouraging hearing people to learn sign language as well. It proves as a most enriching process for both deaf and hearing people to bridge the communication gap. A lot of people that I knew and friends have now emigrated to other parts of the world. So I have this passion to get Durban buzzing and encouraging people to stay in Durban and help us build an active citizenry committed to caring for the environment and promoting eco-awareness projects. Durban's green rainbows glorified our green felt hearts as we did it for the green on Heritage Day. Green with Glory, we recorded our green felt hearts, poetry arts experience for posterity.
Using art to actively promote ecological change and inclusion of all people is a true innovation. Sanabel has proven through various successful projects that one can truly make a difference by embracing their talents and directing them toward a greater cause. Maulana Ibrahim Bam is a well-respected scholar and alim. Every month, he takes time from his busy schedule to answer questions you may have. Let's hear what today brings.
Alhamdulillah wahda, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da, ala man la nabiyya ba'dahu, wa la ummata ba'da ummatihi, wa la kitaba ba'da kitabih, amma ba'd. Respected viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Q&A segment of the An Nur program. We begin by praising Almighty Allah and send salutations upon the messengers of the Almighty and those who follow them in righteousness and guidance. Amongst the questions that we have, one of it, is it dislike for a Shafi to not recite the Dua Qunut of Fajr out loud because most of his followers are Hanafis and Malikis, so that they can see that he respects their school of thought? My suggestion in this regard, and it is something that is a general rule and principle, the followers should follow the school of thought of the Imam. So if the Imam is of a particular school of thought, he must recite according to his school of thought. And the accommodation should come from the followers rather than the accommodation coming from the Imam. Yes, we should accommodate different schools of thought. And in accommodation, how do we accommodate? Does the Imam accommodate or does the followers accommodate? The proper way is the Imam must perform his salat according to his school of thought. And according to that, the followers must follow suit. It's not the other way around. It's not that the Imam must change his school of thought for the sake of accommodating the followers and the muqtadis. So in this way, there is greater accommodation that you follow the Imam, not that the Imam will follow your dictates. So you, whoever your followers are, whatever the followers are, they follow the Imam and he must follow his school of thought. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq of following upon the dictates of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
We often have requests to ask Maulana questions in private, and this can happily be arranged. Drop us an email or send us a message via social media and we'll get Maulana to be in touch. Next up is this week's topic. Gender roles have mostly defined men as the breadwinner who goes out to earn a living. The woman is defined as the one who stays at home, taking care of the family. But this definition is archaic, and these days, men are as involved in the upbringing of their children, with some even choosing to stay at home while their partner goes to work.
I've been working in the corporate world for quite some time, and I started asking a lot of questions. I got unhappy with the fact that I didn't get to spend a lot of time at home, the long hours. I just started to ask myself, is that really what I want? So this is one of the things that prompted me to start looking for an alternative way. And eventually I found myself leaving work and taking the leap and starting my own company so that I can actually dictate my own time at the end of the day.
Islam too teaches that it is important for parents, and especially dads, to be involved in the lives of their children.
The contribution of the father, I think, is in fact a lot more weightier than the contribution of the mother in terms of providing nourishment, care, an emotional and psychological safe space. The mother and the father shares in this responsibility. They need to ensure that the children grow up in an environment by which they are guided by Islamic principles. But in addition to that, in addition to a role that he shares with the mother, he has this further obligation to ensure from a financial perspective, the family survives, they do well, whatever the requirements there are in life in terms of schooling, housing, food, and the like. As society, in comparison to our parents, our grandparents, we have shifted in terms of what is important. A work-life balance is far more important to professionals and people in the workplace today than it was in previous years.
Every morning starts off pretty much the same for Adil, who gets out of bed and preps his son for school. His wife, who is also involved, has a little bit more time, however, to herself as she gets ready for work.
Okay, so in the morning, Shakira normally hits the gym quite early, so she's up at 4:30, and I invariably have to get up at the same time as her, so I'm up with her. My task really involves getting him ready for daycare while Shakira gets done, helping him brush his teeth and showing him what the correct way to do that is. Shakira normally takes care of taking him to daycare while I get busy with work, but as I've mentioned, at about 3 o'clock, I managed to pick him up. We get to spend some time together. So definitely starting to play a more active role in the family life.
He has some time for himself and uses this by doing some exercise before getting stuck into work.
Once they leave and they're off to school and work, I'll have some time to do a gym session. I believe it's important to maintain good health, because if your body is healthy, your mind automatically becomes healthy. So after gym, I'd normally take a stroll through the garden just to keep an eye on things. I spend quite a bit of my morning times there. I find this is actually the time that I enjoy it the most, because everything starts to come alive. So I'll probably spend about a half an hour to an hour there, after which I'd come back inside and get done and ready for the day ahead.
Technology and certain jobs are making it easier for parents to work from home. For Adil, who has left the corporate world, this has helped immensely.
I obviously need to manage my own time, so it's important that I'm also self-motivated. In the corporate environment, there were times that you almost forced yourself out of bed because you need to go and earn a salary. I now feel that I do what I love at the end of the day. It's only been a few weeks since I've been on my own, and already I find that there's a lot more time available for me to spend with Zayan. I now go and pick him up from daycare at around about 3 o'clock, which leaves quite a bit of time still for us to play and interact with each other before bedtime. So that's been a real positive change and a positive impact with the change that I've made so far.
Stay-at-home dads are becoming a norm, and the rewards are far greater as they get to spend some quality time with their children. Sheikh Ismail Lont has been instrumental in making the tafsir segment a success. Instead of taking it all upon himself, he graciously helped organize qaris to recite from the Quran while he provided the tafsir. This week is Qari David's with Surah Iqra.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم صدق الله العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. The beautiful recitation we've just listened to is of the first 5 verses of chapter 96 of the Holy Quran, What's so significant regarding these 5 verses is that they were the first 5 verses ever revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And what's even more significant is the fact that they do not address issues of faith or issues of law or issues of relationships between fellow man. Rather, it addresses an individual state, and it speaks about education. It speaks about knowledge. It speaks about reading. Read, iqra, bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, in the name of your Lord who created. Read in the name of your Lord who created. خلق الإنسان من علق, created man from a clot, from a sticky, clinging clot. اقرأ وربك الأكرم, read, and your Lord is the most generous, the most generous. الذي علم بالقلم, he is the one who taught you the use of a pen. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم, he taught man that which man knew not. Education is extremely important, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, encouraged us with the words, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. An educated man is a powerful man. An educated man and woman is a refined individual. There's a difference between knowledge and education. We are to become better human beings through our knowledge. The more we learn, the more refined we are supposed to be. The more we learn, the more we should recognize the fact that our existence here is based on implementation. Beneficial knowledge is that which results in positive action. Beneficial knowledge is that which draws us closer to our Creator. May the doors of knowledge always be open for us. May we take full advantage of all the opportunities of growth through knowledge, and may we become better human beings through what we are exposed to of knowledge, and as a result, may we play positive roles in the societies that we live in. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I hope you appreciate and take to heart these beautiful recitals. May Allah bless the Qaris and Sheikh Lond for spiritually uplifting our hearts and minds. Lamis the Toy is up next.
Assalamu alaikum. So you've all had the milk chocolate mousse, the white chocolate mousse, and the decadent dark chocolate mousse. But today I'm going to show you how to make what I call a posh mousse. And that essentially is a saffron mousse. And you'd be surprised at how simple and easy it is to make. And all that you need are the following ingredients. I've got 2 teaspoons of freshly ground and roasted ilachi powder. I've got 1 tablespoon of milk. I've got about a teaspoon of saffron. Then I've got 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar. I've got 2 tubs of cream, so that's about 500 milliliters of cream. Use the whipping cream variety because you're wanting to incorporate lots of air, not the pouring cream. And then I've got some raw almonds that I've just chopped up, and I'm going to dry roast these in a pan. You can use flaked almonds, you could use slivered almonds, but I just think the raw almonds are so much nicer, gives good texture and color. So the first thing that we need to start off doing is to warm our milk. And the reason why we warm our milk is because you want that to help you draw all the oils and flavors out of the saffron. So this I'm going to pop into the microwave for all of 20 seconds. But before I do that, the saffron goes into a dry pan. So warm. Once your pan is warm, you turn off the heat because you don't want to burn your saffron. So off with the heat, pop your saffron in, and that's just to help you to release all its natural flavors so that you get the maximum out of your saffron. And this into the microwave for 20 seconds. So I'm just going to move this around in the pan to make sure that it's nice and toasty. And that's the sound of the microwave. I'm going to pop that into the warm milk, and you'll immediately see how this milk starts to change color, starts to infuse, it releases its color. I'm starting to smell that rich saffron taste. So it truly is worth its weight in gold. So I'm just going to leave that to one side, and while that's sitting there so we can get the maximum flavor out of it, I'm going to start on the mousse. And the mousse is as simple as fresh cream into a bowl, And again, don't use double cream, don't use pouring cream. All you need is a light whipping cream, and to this our powdered sugar. Make sure whenever you use your cream that you keep it chilled. It just helps in getting it to stiffen up. And what you don't see in front of you is the ramekins that I have hidden in my deep freezer. And it's very important because the minute our mousse is ready, I'll get the ramekins out of the deep freezer. They're nice and ice cold. They'll keep your mousse chilled and they're good to eat. So I'm going to start whipping this up. Okay, so my mousse, my cream is starting to get some body. I'm going to add my ilachi powder. And I'm going to stir this through so that it doesn't go shooting all over the place. And the ilachi is what gives this, think of a kulfi ice cream jelly, that rich ilachi flavor, but not quite as sweet because there's no condensed milk in this. Get my spatula out because this is sort of an awkward shaped bowl. Okay, so we've got our powdered sugar, ilachi, and now comes the game changer, and that is our saffron milk. And I'm keeping the saffron strands in here. Let me just move this to one side. Oh, and look at that, color changing instantly. So this looks good to go. So before I put this into my ice cold ramekins, I'm going to toast off my almonds. And all that you want to do is just get a light color and get that edge off that rawness. And this will be used as a garnish. So use it, don't use it. If you've got a nut allergy, leave it. So while this is toasting in my pan, which is on a very low heat, I'm gonna get my ramekins.
So I have my ramekins that are so cold that I put them on a plate, which means they're perfect.
So all that's left to do is spoon loads of the mixture into your ramekins that are nice and cold, so it will keep everything nicely chilled. And I just love how you can see those bits of yellowy saffron going all the way through. It's like a kulfi ice cream and a burfi had a fluffy child. And all that this needs, a sprinkle of almonds. And there you have it, posh mousse. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
We'd like to wish the students who are writing their final exams a successful time ahead. Remember, with Allah by your side, you can triumph. Assalamu alaikum from me, Zahra Robinson.